What's the different part?
It's harder.
Harder, why? Sec 2 we learn acute angles only, meaning they only appear in your first quadrant. That means your triangle is always within this. Okay, theta is acute. So your triangle's angle, your right angle triangle is always an acute one. Okay, but this year we move into the second quadrant where the angle can be obtuse, meaning more than 90, less than 180. So when your triangle becomes an obtuse triangle, you will make use of trigo ratio for obtuse angles. Okay, so the only difference, like what I mentioned to you all last time, is this is hypotenuse, adjacent, opposite. You always look out for right angle triangle. So the right angle triangle you focus on is this one here. Okay, so instead of using this angle, we are using this little angle here. So same thing, hypotenuse, adjacent, opposite. So what we have learned is that for tangent of this angle, it will be opposite over adjacent. But take note, your adjacent on this side is actually negative. So you end off with a negative answer. That's all. Okay, same thing for cosine. Okay, for cosine is A over H. But because your A is on this side is negative, right? So you also end off with a negative ratio. The only thing that don't change is sine. Because sine is O over H and they are still both positive. So I just want to remind you, when we go into the second quadrant, when your angle is obtuse, your cosine and tangent ratio becomes negative, but for sine it is always positive. So this is 7.1. Okay, then 7.2, we learned that no matter what kind of triangle you are given, okay, as long as you have the length of two adjacent sides. So for example, this is A and this is B. Okay, and I say this angle is C. Okay, so I am able to find the area of this triangle by using half times the length of the two adjacent sides and sine of the angle in between them. This is called the included angle because it's trapped between the two sides. So I call it the letter V. So as long as you can identify a V, okay, let me change to red so that you can see better. Okay, the two lengths beside, adjacent to one another, and sine of the angle in between is always the area of the triangle formula. So even if I switch side, I say this is C, this length is C, and then I tell you this angle here is B. You can also find by using half times the two adjacent sides and then sine of the angle in between them. So the formula can change, the letters can change, but it is always the letter V. So as long as you can see that, there is 7.2 area of triangle. Okay, so this is what we have learned before we close the term. Okay, and then of course, this chapter will end off with 7.3 and 7.4, which I'm going to give you the notes now. Okay, and it is not very difficult, although you always don't believe me, but never mind. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Scarlett, you okay or not?
Yeah.
You look like you're fainting. What happened? Justin, why? You need help? Why? What happened? Where the bag? Okay, Justin, later you check the green bag up there, see whether have or not. They might have chucked every extra thing up there. Okay, so later you check. Okay, so what I need to tell you is 7.1 and 7.2 you can ignore. Let's straight away turn to 7.3 because 7.1 and 2 we are done. Don't want. No need. Let's run to know when we do the PMP behind, we will recap everything. So let's jump to 7.3 now. The sign rule. Okay, the sign rule. Yeah, I recap already. Okay, just now, right? Okay, now I'm gonna show you how they got sign rule from this. Okay, how they got sign rule from this, So actually the last angle that I didn't manage to talk about is this one. This one, right? So what if I'm given angle A? Okay, I can also find the area of this triangle by using half times B times C. 7.3, note 7.3, there's no page number there. Okay, then sine of the angle A. Can you see these three formulas? They all give you area of triangle. So if you write them together, yeah, still not getting better. Okay, if you write them all together, you will form a ratio. So let's all cancel out the half. So poor thing, right? You just feel like maybe can just let someone go and save. No lah, just save. Okay, never mind. Okay, so what happens is this. You somehow can see that there can be one ratio that you can set up between them. So if I just focus on these two, okay, you realize that you can cancel out one more thing. What is it? Which one? Sine, no, sine cannot cancel. This is sine B, this is sine A. They are different things. C. So if you cancel the C, it becomes A sine B equals to B sine A. If you shift them, meaning if I divide this by sine A, then this one cancels out, right? Can you see that? Okay, and if I, oh no, maybe I do like that, all of you can see better. Okay, if I divide both sides by sine A and sine B, can you see that you end off with a very neat ratio? A and sine of the angle A, B and sine of the angle B. So there seems to be a pattern. What do you think this will end you off with? What do you think this will end you off with? Make a guess. This one is A, this is B, right? What if it's C?
AB sin C.
Yeah, this one AB sin C.
Like AB over sin C.
Can be more simple. Okay, if I compare these two, it will be AC sine B, right? So the A cancels out. So how do you think I can simplify them? I divide both sides by sine B and sine C. What am I left with? Can you see that it says B sine B is equals to C sine C? So indirectly they are trying to tell you the length and the sine of its angle always gives you the same ratio throughout. So whatever triangle you are given, if you put the ratio between the length and sine of its angle, meaning this, it will always be equal to the opposite pair. So for example, this is angle B, this is my length B, the ratio is the same. Okay, then my last side, let's say this is my angle C, this is my little length C. The ratio between the length and sine of the angle is always the same. So this is your sine rule. It is not something that they just suddenly come up with. They actually derive it from the area of triangle formula. So by using this, you can always solve for unknowns that you want. Okay, so this is the derivation, but if you are not interested in the derivation, let's just practice how to use it. Is to cut this into two. Very good. So now you know the area of triangle formula. So this is only half of it. Go and multiply by 2. Then you should get your answer as what it is. I will not say because everybody will be typing into the class key.
No, I need to check my answer.
Okay, what about this one? It says that I have a triangle ABC. The area is 28 and there are 2 possible angles of ACB. So like what we mentioned just now, it could be an acute angle like this. Okay, and then they say this area is 28. But it can also be a obtuse angle with area 28. So they ask us to find what are the 2 possible angles. So with that, half times 9 times 7 times sine of the angle theta should give me 28. So if you go and do your calculation, 28 divided by half, divide by 9, divide by 7, you end up having 8 over 9. So what are the 2 possible degree you can get? You do a sine inverse. One is 62.7. The other one, how to find? How to find the other answer? This is one possible one. You use 180, take away the 62.7. So it's 117.27. Okay, sorry, 2dp, right? We were saying. Okay, so it's not as difficult as what you imagine it to be. But remember, when they ask you to find 2 possible angles, there's always an acute one and an obtuse one. So I want you all to remember this. Okay? Let's look at the next one, H. I have a rhombus. Rhombus means what? What's so special about rhombus? All the sides are equal. So meaning everything is x. Okay? Then they say the whole area is 150. 4x is 150, no. How to find the area of ABCD? Half times what? X times sine. Okay, but I'm only finding half of it. So the whole thing times 2, it should be equal to what? 150.
Must you put the half or can just take out?
You can take out because the half times 2 is gone. So actually on the left hand side, right, if you type in half times sine 30 times another 2, it ends up having half x squared equals to 150. So if you solve it, you end up having 300. So take a square root, you will get 17.32. Okay? So the properties of rhombus, if you know, the rest is just formula. So the 30 marks question are not as difficult as you imagine it to be. Why is it?
Your answer wrong.
Not what? 17.32 is wrong?
Yeah, it's wrong. Just ask one. What do you need answer for this?
17.32 is not correct.
Just skip it.
Okay, I will double check this one. Maybe my answer that I keyed in was different. Times 2. Half. Yeah, looks correct, eh? Okay, never mind. Last one. Find the shortest distance from C to AB. So meaning, you want this. The shortest distance, right? So again, we need to first find the area of this triangle. How to find area of this triangle? Half what? Yes, so remember, I must put sine 30. I have had students many years always do half times 16 times 16 times 30 degree. Eh?
I stay here, okay, very hot then.
Oh, very hot there.
Yeah,
Why got a lot of Victoria school boys there? I saw like
Very
one
funny,
whole group really.
Very funny.
No, I'm just saying. Why so sensitive? Okay, so if you calculate properly, what do you get?
You're wearing the white pants. You cannot even sit down anywhere.
You will end up getting 64. Okay? But there's another way to look at this triangle. It can be half times base times this height that you are trying to find. So this is also equals to half times 16 times h.
It's not automatically get correct.
Okay, which you get 8h.
This one.
So h is just 8.
This one.
Yeah.
The last question you automatically get correct.
Why?
It just says 30 out of 30. That is green.
No lah, they tell you it's 30, right?
Yeah, 30 out of
You
30.
never key in anything correct?
Yeah.
This one is the chocolate for me.
For those who presented yesterday
I got 90.
while you were sleeping.
I got 90.
I was
Eh, why?
I got 90.
I got 90.
Tired.
90.
You all secretly do what I go through all. Okay, wait. Last one. You tell me the answer. I give you the chocolate.
But I
Area of A, B, C, D.
Wait, A, B, C, D. So which angle? Oh wait, the area.
Half of parallel lines.
Sum.
Okay, so you need to find the height. And then like,
What's the formula?
no, A square equals.
Half A, B sine C. So you tell me what's the area of ADC first.
What's the height?
Half times 16 times. What's the height? 8.
64.
No, we don't need the height. Remember, now it's 2 adjacent side and 1 included angle. Remember the V, the vertex? Can you see the vertex here? Yeah?
Nuna got 143.6. It's 147.
Okay, so half times 13 times 16 times sine what? 50. So to find the total area, you need to add everything together. So just now we found is 64 and then we add it to this one. So what is your answer?
Then I see how it is.
Okay, so you can unit square, cm square. Okay, accordingly. So you should be able to do all these 9 questions. Okay, I have one last bonus. Okay. Okay, wait. Who are the ones who got 90 already?
Yeah, thank you.
90? Not yet. Me?
Actually, I don't like
Which one I got 90?
What is the E answer for E?
Oh, you got it.
Answer for E.
Justin, eh, got 90?
No, it's still right.
Why? Got 90 or not? Don't have? Why you do?
So you scam me, but touch the one.
Oh, yeah.
Try that question to kill itself.
I will definitely find that time. I'm so sorry. Okay. Now this is the very bonus question because it leads us to the 7.2. Okay. So listen carefully, Listen very carefully. This is my triangle. Just now we figured that when we label the triangle, angles are all capital letter. The opposite sides are its length, all use small letter ABC. If I want to calculate the area, there's 3 different formulas I can use. What's the first one? So let's say we choose this corner. So it will be okay, so this is the first formula. Okay, Justin, what is the second formula you can give me? Yeah, what is the second formula? Half B. This is A. C. Sine? Oh, cannot see. B times A? Or you want to use the other side, huh? Can. This one. Okay, so half times B. A. Then what? Sine what? Sine what? C. Okay? So the other one is half BC sine A. Okay. So actually, right, from these 3 pairs, you can come up with one ratio. You can come up with one ratio between angles and the length. So, if I just focus on this one, can you simplify it and make it into a ratio? Let's ignore this one. Imagine you are given this. Can you simplify this further? Can we cancel anything out? Half. So I cancel out the half. Okay. Then can I group all the B's and the A's together? Or I can still cancel something else out. C. Okay, now can I try to group all the A's and the B's together? So if I keep my sine B here, and I keep my sine A here, so let me just write them down. Sine B, sine A. How can I shift my B and my A? When I bring it over, become what? When I bring this over to the other side, become what? Not negative. When you bring this over, it becomes baby. No. When you bring a multiply over, it becomes divide. So if I bring this B down, it becomes divide by B. If I bring this A down, it becomes divide by A. So it's suggesting to me that the ratio of the length and sine of the angle are always the same. So let's make a guess. What do you think C will be over? C will be over what? Sine C. So this actually, this formula here is actually 7.3, which is your sine rule. And it is derived from this formula. If you are not convinced, let's just compare these two. Let's just try to compare these two. Half BC sine A, half BA sine C. Let's cross out everything that is the same. Can you see that if you keep sine A here and sine C here, what do you do with the A here? bring down to divide. This B, this C, bring down to divide. So the ratio between the length and sine of the angle is the same for the triangle. So I don't have the notes here. Let's look at this one. Half AB sine C, the two corresponding sides and the angle in between. Yes, 7.2. Example, right? No example 1. Is the real. Can get the answer. So you will get 111.5355, 3SF, so 112. Okay, that's it. One more is now that you know the answer to this length, they ask you for the area. So how will you find the area of this triangle? You need a V, need a vertex. Can someone locate a vertex for me? Which vertex should I choose? A sharp point, a corner point of your triangle. This one, right? So what are the length you use? Half times what? Okay, so 111.535 times 100 times sine of the angle between them. So the moment you know your area of triangle formula, then finding area of triangle is very simple. You will get a very big number. So 3SF, so 3940. Okay? Yeah. So no matter what triangles you are given, as long as they want you to find the unknown sides or the angle, always try to locate the pair. For example, I say this is 30, this is 7. I say this is 45, and I ask you what is this length. So you go and set up one pair. This is one ratio. This is the other ratio. So what will you write as the ratio? Let's say this is x. X over sine 45 degree. It must be equal to 7 over sine 30 degree. Then you go and solve. Okay, we'll learn this more in depth when we come back. Okay, after the June holidays. But remember this June holiday, go and do your 10-year series. Yes, that's the holiday homework. Okay, when you come back, we'll finish this chapter. Why? Yeah, I sent in the WhatsApp group chat. I will put it up here also. The example 1, do you have an example? Where? Yeah. Okay, then my notes is so... Yesterday, my daughter told me she's Gen Alpha.
Then the one on top, yeah, she is.
I'm like, how do you know?
Then the one on top, you're millennial.
I mean, she's only P3. How can she know she's from what gen?
Sign blue.
Correct, right? Oh, you want the formula part now? Okay. See, one period is so short. I barely say anything. It's almost over. Silas, you got something you want to tell me? Oh, one period is so short, huh? I'm glad you never asked me what time my lesson end today. Every day you ask. Okay, so anyway, the length formula is just that. You always put the length on top. Always put the length on top of sine of its angle. So remember, small letter is representing length. Okay, but the capital letter is representing angles. This is a convention they like to use. So this is for angle. So if you want to find angle, just reverse the ratio, put the angle on top. Just use this formula. Okay, but they are the same thing. Just that your calculation will be easier. Okay, so let's just practice. So I have this length. It always matches with the sine of this angle. Remember, it's always its opposite. So this is one pair. This is one pair. Okay, now I want to find the next pair. This angle is matched with this length. So you will see that the question wants you to find the unknown length BC. This one. So must match with which angle? This angle. So first thing first, I need to find this angle. What is angle BAC? How to find? Correct. So just your sec 1 foundation, minus 60 minus 45, you get 75. Sum of angles in a triangle. Do you have to write the reason? No need, but it's a good practice. Okay, once you know this is 75, question wants you to find this length BC. So if they ask you to find length, we will use the length formula. So put the length on top. So this length you want, BC, you relate it to sine of the opposite angle. Okay, this pair. So this is one pair. This is the unknown I want to find. You always link it to sine of the ratio of the angle opposite. Okay, there is another pair that I should use. The black one or the red one? Which pair? Which pair should I use? The black one, right? Because I know the angle, I know the length. Pick the ratio that you know. Because if you use the red one, you don't have the length. There's too many unknowns. So we will link it with 100 over sine of the angle opposite. So the moment you write this is 1 mark already. Because you know it's sine rule. Okay? So your mission is to solve for this. Then all you need to do is cross this over to multiply and you get the answer already. Okay, what do you get? Okay, this one 111.5355, but 3SF cm meter. Okay, that's it. Okay, but before that, always make sure you have at least 5 SF because you might need to use this for other parts. Okay, now with everything that I know, I want to find area of this triangle. So 7.2 we learn how to find area of triangle. So which letter V should I use? Where is the letter V that will help me find the answer? Which one? Who? I don't know. Which one? C. So all you need to do is to find the two sides that you know with the angle in between. Then you can find the area of the triangle. This one you can't because you don't have this length.
It's half time length times breadth.
Half AB sine C, remember? Just now this one. Because it's not a right angle triangle, you cannot have times base times height. Okay, so we will pick this one, this letter V. So the formula says that to find area of the triangle ABC, you use half times the length of the two adjacent sides, and then sine of the angle in between. Okay, don't be surprised. I will have some of you who will miss out the sine. And then you give me all the length times the angle there and still give me an answer. Okay, so remember, there must be a sine of an angle. So go and key this whole thing into the calculator. What do you get? So 3SF, 394, we set this to 0. Okay? Doing or not? Can Okay, next one. Let's look at example 2. Flip to the next page. Tomorrow we will learn cosine rule. Then we can close the chapter.
No, you need to prepare.
Then we will have a peace. Because then I get to see how you all do.
And then you get the shock of the life. And then you crash out.
Done, Sailesh? Why you keep looking down? Okay, this one. So first thing first. One. I don't. Where's my example one? I take photo. I don't know why. Okay, next example, this one. Okay, they want me to find angle X, Z, Y. This one. Where? Huh? Okay, wait. Let's finish one. Okay, remember the angle must always match with the opposite side. Right? This is one pair. Another pair will be these two. So since I'm finding angle, put the sine angle on top. So I start off with this one. Sine of the angle XZY over the pair. 15.8 is a pair, remember? Then I link it up with sine of the other angle over its opposite length. So the rest is just cross multiply. Ufa, you copying or not? Okay, so the moment you have done this step, don't stop here. Question never asks you to find sine of the angle, right? Question only want this. So what do you think you need to do? One more step. What do you think you need to do to find X, Z, Y? I don't want this one. Inverse. So bring the entire sine over, inverse the answer you got. So you should have gotten this as the answer. Write as many decimal place you can and then do a sine inverse. Your answer would be 32.3294. So 1 dp for the answer because the question says so. Okay, so once you know the answer already, go and quickly write it down. Okay, so So once you know this, how can you find the area of this triangle? You need a letter V where you know the length of the two arms and the angle in between. So which letter V can you use? And which one? So you should be using this side. Then you will say I have these two lengths, right? And I need the angle in between. Can find or cannot find? Can, I can't choose this because this length is not known to me. I can't choose this because I don't have this length. This is the only side where the two lengths are known to me. So, all I need to find is this angle first. So, angle Y is 180, take away the 74, take away the 32.3294. Okay, so once you know this angle already, you can go and find your area of triangle. Half times this length times this length and sine of the angle in between. Don't forget the sign. You all will always forget the sign. So please prove me wrong, 215.3095 3SF okay. So example 3, you go home and try on your own. We will continue tomorrow. So those who haven't finished your homework, remember tomorrow, latest Wednesday. Okay, that's it. What lesson is it now? Or literature? What's this? You catch up and you give me, Okay, this is... Okay, class 10. Before your teacher comes, or you all need to go somewhere, right? Who's your lead teacher? Okay, thank you, class. Okay, have a nice day. Bye. Oh, the paper. Found. So A, B, C is this one. Where is its pair? Where is its matching sides? Which one is matching to this angle? AC, right? So remember the side that is opposite to the angle is always its pair. Yes, please come in. Okay, then the next one you need is the next pair. But before that, let's observe this triangle. What kind of triangle is this? Equilateral? Isosceles from one loop. But Fikri is not wrong, because if you go and find angle ABC, you use 180 minus the 60 and then you divide by 2. You realize it is also 60. This is base angle of isosceles triangle. So this is 60. This is 60. Then yes, it's an equilateral triangle. Straight away, in fact, you also know that this is 7 cm. There's nothing involving sine rule, cosine rule, in fact. Straight away, just knowing the angles, you know how to find all the sides and all the angles already. Okay, but how to find area of this triangle? What should you identify? Okay, all these things are the things that you should be thinking about. How to find area of this triangle? Anyone? Half AB sine C. So which A, which B, which C? Which V, which vertex V should you identify? In fact, all three you have, right? Yesterday I was telling you, as long as you put your letter V here, you have the two sides and the angle in between, you can use that. Or this one, or even this one. So in fact, all three are known to you. You can use any of the vertex. So if I pick this, and this angle, you can use the area of triangle formula. Half A, B, sine of the included angle in between. So what's the answer? Is it a nice answer? No, right? 21 point. Give me more decimal place first. Hey. Did I mark Jasper's attendance? Okay, you were with NCC. Hey, Ufa, you come back already, Ufa, Evan? Okay, so what is the answer? 21 point? Okay, so have more than 5 first, then you round off to 3SF. Okay, so area of triangle formula is new to you. Okay, then what is the name of the triangle given? Equilateral. Can So a very quick recap again. 7.1, we learned trigo ratio for obtuse angles. It is also twa, ka, and so. But remember, this is negative, this is negative, this is positive. So it's O over H, A over H but with a negative, and O over A with a negative. So just take note of that. Then 7.2, we learn area of triangle formula, which is your half AB sine C. Okay, it can also be half BC sine A. It can also be half AC sine B. Doesn't matter. Just remember, it's always one corner point of a triangle. These two sides and the angle in between. Okay, then 7.3, the one that we just learned is your sine rule. Okay, we learned that the ratio of the sides and the opposite of its angle, the ratio is always the same. So this pair, let's say this angle is B, the opposite length is B. So the ratio between the length and sine of the angle B is the same. And then the very last one, angle C and the length C, the ratio is always the same. So this is your sine rule. Okay, so today we are at the last part, which is 7.4, which is on cosine rule. Okay, this one is just a recap. Make sure every time you know what is each part of the chapter about. Then you will never forget. Okay, I let you note down a bit. Then we move on to cosine rule, last rule. Okay, so once we wrap up cosine rule, I'm going to show you some 10-year series questions so you know how it looks like on the O-level paper. Can ah? Okay, this one. Cosine rule. Okay, I'm going straight into the application. So cosine rule, imagine all these are non-right angle triangle, but let's imagine this is like a right angle triangle, right? Remember what we say about Pythagoras theorem? It's always the longest length square, okay, equals to the sum of the squares of the other two sides. Okay, so you can remember cosine rule, half of it in this way. But there is another part that you need to add on to the formula. So remember, it's always minus 2 times of the product of these two numbers. Okay, followed by cosine A. So it doesn't matter how I change the letters. I can start from B square. Then what is the other two squares that I will add up? A and C, right? So A square and C square. So we already settle sort of like the Pythagoras theorem part, but we always need to subtract something off from it. So it's always 2 times of these two numbers. And then cosine of the angle opposite this. So cosine rule, the formula is given to you on the first page. This one. They give it to you, but you must know how to use it. Otherwise, they give you the formula, you also don't know how to use. Okay, this one is just rearranging this. So I'm going to show you how they rearrange. Let's say this formula here. A square plus equals to B square plus C square minus 2BC cosine A. So how did they change it to this? Okay, you should be able to see that what they have done is they kept the B square plus C square here. So they kept this here. Okay, and then they shift this over to become a positive number. That's all that they have done. So they shifted the negative number to the other side. And then now they bring this over to subtract. So the angle formula is not given, but you can always manipulate it on your own. Okay, so how to keep the cosine here? Since it's all multiplied, 2 times B times C times cos A, right? You can divide over the 2BC. So that's how they arrive at the formula. So there's no need for you to memorize the angle formula. It's just a rearrangement of the first one. And this formula is given on your first page. Okay? So you just need to know when is the time that you need to use cosine rule or sine rule. Okay, so I give you an example. Okay, this question. Okay, the formula, we come back to it. Okay, if you are given a triangle like that and you want to use sine rule to solve it, then you try to match, right? This is your side. Its opposite angle is here, but it's an unknown. Then I try to match the other side. This is my side, and the opposite angle is also an unknown. So if you want to use sine rule to solve this question, you can't because you have two unknowns. So that is where cosine rule comes into play. So I just want to tell you the trick. Cosine rule, if you can locate the letter V, you can also use cosine rule. Meaning, if you have two lengths of the adjacent side and the included angle, straight away you can solve by cosine rule. So the moment they give you this, then you can solve by cosine rule. Or they give you this, these two sides and the angle in between, you can use cosine rule. Okay? So how to use? This is the unknown side, which is like our Pythagoras theorem. So ML is the length that I want to solve. So can someone tell me how should I set up the equation? What is the Pythagoras theorem part that I should write down? The first part. ML square is equals to what square plus what square? what? MS or SM. So this one square plus which square? Which square? SL, yes. So this one square. So the moment you write down this, you are halfway done. Okay, the next step you need to do is to subtract the product 2 times the product of these two numbers. Okay, followed by cosine of the angle trapped between them. So the moment you write this down, you get 2 marks already. Cosine rule total is 3 marks. Okay, O levels, they give you 3 marks for using cosine rule. So you must be able to write this correctly. Then you get your 2 marks, final answer, 3rd mark. So this is very important. Make sure you know how to apply. Okay, next step I'm going to try to teach you how to be lazy. There's a square here, right? You don't want to recopy this thing again and then take square root. So what you can do is you can delete the square and take a square root for your whole answer here. So you only write it in one step. Key the whole thing into the calculator and get the answer. So can you do that now? Is this what you all get? Something like this or different? Wrong Different Correct Okay, so don't stop here. Round off to 3SF. So look at the first 3 number and the number beside it. Since it's less than 5, you round down. Sorry, it's just meter. Okay, that's it. So cosine rule is the moment you can see a letter V. Okay, whether it's a wide angle letter V or a narrow angle letter V, the moment you can see that, you can use cosine rule. Okay, see that means the 2 arms and the included angle, you must have information of it. Then you can find. Okay, so this is 3 marks. Please make sure you can do. Okay, so all those boxes I draw, you don't need to draw. I'm just showing you how to remember it easily. Cosine rule. Do you bring the notes? Yes. Then you still... Oh, homework. Oh yeah, the soft copy here. Get your answer out. That's 3 marks. Okay, as long as you remember how to apply the formula, substitution is alright, you get 2 marks already. You just had to get the correct answer after keying everything out. Okay, if all is good, you should be able to get this. So 3SF, look at the number beside it, you round up. So you should get a 6.00 meters. Okay, the moment you found the answer, put it in your diagram. Write the one that is more accurate. Okay, next step, they say, can you then tell me what is the angle of BCA? This one. So if we look at this, we can refer to the biggest triangle you can see here. Okay, why not the smaller one? Because do we have enough info? Let's see. This one with this. Okay, we seem to only have 2 lengths. Okay, but the angle that you want that you can find is this one. There's 2 unknown angle. So if you are referring to the small triangle, it seems to be that you might not have enough info. Okay, but if you look at the big one, okay, you have 2 lengths, you have 1 angle. This is the unknown that you want to find. So seems to be that if you focus on the big triangle, let me redraw it out for you. Okay, it can get to what you want faster. So this is 9.3, this is 5.6, this is what you want to find, and this is 28. So first step, you always check, can use cosine rule or not? Then you check, this one not enough. I don't have this length, I don't have this angle. I check this. I have 2 sides, but I don't have the angle in between. I check the last corner. I have this, I don't have this, I have the angle in between. So I cannot use cosine rule. There must be sine rule already. So let's try to match the pairs. The side matching with the angle opposite. So this is one pair. You need to find the other pair, which is this side and the angle opposite. So you have the 2 pairs already. Now is to write them together. So last lesson we mentioned, if you are finding angle, right, then put the angle on top of the fraction. So we try to solve this. Sine of the angle C over the opposite length. This is one pair of ratio you have. Okay, the other pair is this one. Sine of the angle 28 over 5.6. So you set up the ratio. This is the only unknown that you want to solve. Okay, so we solve it normally, cross multiply. Okay, this is equal to sine of your angle C. Okay, the tiny cap there is also a symbol for angle. Okay, but if you don't want to write like that, you can write angle BCA. Also okay. Okay, but don't stop there because you want to solve for the angle C. You don't want sine of the angle, right? So bring it over. Do a inverse. This whole answer you have here. Okay? Okay, last part. I want to find area of triangle ABC. Can someone teach me how to do that? You just need to locate the half AB sine C. Where can I find the half AB sine C? Okay, these are all the info I have of the triangle. Can you tell me how to find the area of the triangle? Okay, we check. This one, we have this, but not this. So seems to not be able to use this pair. Then we check the other side. Okay, this part, you have this. but this is not the full length of the triangle. So if you want, at most you can find the area of this piece. Okay, if you are using this corner, half AB sine C, right? You can find this triangle, but not the whole thing, unless you have the full length. So I can't use this one as well. Then the last one, I have these two sides, the full sides, but I need the angle here. Can find or cannot find? Can I find this angle here? This one. Can, right? I have this angle, I have this angle. I can find the third angle of a triangle. So go and find that first. So it's not always the case that everything is given to you. Some of it is hidden. You got to find it first. So 180 minus your 28 minus your 51.229. Okay, you should get something like this. Okay, once you get the angle here, then you are almost done, because now you have this corner already. So you can do your half AB sine of the angle in between to find area of triangle. So it's just half times 9.3 times 5.6 times sine of the angle in between. Okay, this is part B. Okay, I leave this here for a bit. Okay, maybe you want to try example 3 on your own, so that you can think first before we try together. Okay, do example 3 on your own. At least you refer lah. You have? PMP. This one can be done in 2 steps. Okay, I'm collecting the homework at the end of going through the questions you don't know. So make sure you are copying corrections.
I didn't even do anything.
Don't give me nothing later. Kiran, where's your 10 years series homework?
I see if it goes.
How long you need?
There's some words that needs to be
So I send you a message today. Tomorrow you must be with me. Okay. Question 3. Do you need me to go through or is okay? No need. Question 3 need or don't need? Nobody asked means it's okay. 4C. Silash, faster. We are going through homework. Homework, this one. Okay, question 4C. Let's have a look. I want to find the area of the quadrilateral ABCD. So you can find them by dividing this into 2. Find this one first. So this one you can find by half AB times sine of the angle in between them. So this is for area ABC. I need to find area ACD also. So this one. So in part A, I have already found that AC is 7 meters. This one. Okay? And then I have also found that angle ACD is 34.2. So in order for me to find the area of the triangle, I need the letter V, remember? So 2 side-by-side angle, 2 side-by-side length, and the angle in between. So in order to find this piece, I will do a half AB sine of the angle in between them, this one, which you can find. Just use 180 minus 34.2 something. Okay, use the more accurate one. Minus the 100. So that is like a 46.8. Okay, so you add the 2 pieces up, then correct your final answer to the nearest whole number. You should be able to get 27. So I think most of you know all this, but because you didn't know the angle, you just left it there. But you already have the other 2, so you can find the third angle. Okay, this is part C. What about 5? Need to go through? Which one? Part B. For part B. ACD.
Or like half times 7.4 65.
No, this is A. Okay, question 4 part B. I know this one AC is 7. This is 100. This is 4. So what you can use is find the pair. I want to solve for this. So this is one pair. Okay, this is the other pair. So to find this angle, I will do sine of angle ACD over 4, one pair. The other one is sine of 100 degree over 7. So go and do a cross multiplication. Okay, then you get the answer. Should be your 34.21 dp. Okay, using sine rule. By B also, huh? Oh. Okay, so remember you only have 3 formulas: sine rule, cosine rule, area of triangle only. So this chapter, if you cannot use sine rule, must be cosine. Okay, look at 5. Area of ABC should be quite clear cut, so I'm not going through. You look at the letter V, just half AB sine C will do. So half times this times sine of 54. So part A is a given, 2 marks. Okay, part B is the one that I need to go through. ACD is this triangle. Okay, so when you have two conditions, when will you use cosine rule? Only two situations. One, when you have a triangle and all three sides are given to you, you will use cosine rule. Or when you have a triangle, you have two adjacent sides and the angle in between given to you, you will use cosine rule. If it's none of these two, there must be sine rule already. So you look at this question, they give you all three sides. So must be cosine rule. So the angle that they want you to find is this one. Okay, this one important, listen up. It's 3 marks for cosine rule. Make sure you can do. Okay, how to write the equation? This is the angle I want to find. So remember I told you about Pythagoras theorem, right? The longest leg is always opposite the angle you want to find. So you start off with this one. So it's 8 squared equals to the sum of the squares of the other two sides minus 2 times the product of these two numbers followed by cosine of the angle you want to find. This is the formula. So using the formula, now you go and rearrange them. This whole thing shift to the right. So become this. The rest stay where they are. Okay? This thing also bring over to subtract. Okay, can you see I'm just switching the position of these two? Okay, but it's the same cosine formula. Then next step, I want to get rid of this chunk. Okay, it's a multiply over here. When you bring over, you divide. So become this. Okay? Then how to find the angle? Just cosine inverse the whole thing. Okay, you should be able to get this as your answer. Okay, you might want to note this down somewhere, when to use cosine rule.